So, Drew, fire's roaring, woods are crackling, Christmas lights are blinking, presents are unwrapped, wrapping paper has been thrown at Dad with a garbage bag, trying to get it in one shot, and a dog circling around the feet, waiting for that missed one shot to snatch it up like some unwitting victim in the loving jaws of a Jaws. Yeah, Christmas is passed us by. We're rapidly approaching New Year's, so we've thought, let's dust off these old microphones. Let's take this opportunity to, in the words of Excalibur, you got to give the people what they want. And the people have wanted to return to the Devil's Due. So, folks, here we are. Happy holidays. It's a very merry Festivus with Drew and Carl on the Devil's Due. Just picture us sitting by the fireplace. Drew's got a beer. I've got a coffee. And we're about to go over all the glory that was and was not 2021. From us to you, into your ear holes. There we go.
You sounded so dour. I had to.
Wasn't being dour. I was being.
I know. You sounded a little melancholy. It was just a little melancholy. We're back. Let's get hyped.
We're back. It's
let's go.
Listen, I'm hyped. I'm excited.
Me too.
This year has also just been extremely draining.
Well,
and you're kind of in the same boat because you're married to someone who's kind of going through the same stuff.
Yes.
I am, so
yes.
But
let's not.
I digress.
Let's digress on that.
We're back. Hi. We're here to have some fun.
Hopefully you are too.
And talk about 2021. See what I did there? I made a little rhyme.
Ah, like poetry.
Yeah. I do it all the time. Really gotta get a new doorbell chime. Crime.
You don't want mine.
Dime.
Mine doesn't work. That doesn't rhyme. Anyway. Hi. What's going on? How we doing?
So much. We're doing good. We're doing really good. We are back in podcast form, but we've been back together for some time.
Yes.
We were both fully vaccinated spring-ish.
I'm boosted as of December 7th or so.
Boosted as well.
No, that's no guarantee, of course.
Yeah,
but
of course not.
I'm not going to end up in the hospital should I contract the Omicron or whatever it is that's out there now. So I feel good about it.
Waiting for the Devastator variant. Or I'm waiting for the Devastator variant. I'm hoping for the Wheelie variant.
Watch out for that Rodimus variant. It might kill the franchise. It might kill us all.
No, it won't. It would save us all. Just like the real Rodimus did.
Oh, sure. We're okay, though. Yeah, we've been gaming.
Yeah,
we've been
gaming.
Back
we've
together.
Been having a good time.
We just haven't had a lot of time to do this.
Yeah, we haven't had a lot of time to do this. We've really we kind of made the decision that we gave up a year and change of gaming, so we wanted to take some time and catch up on that. It's not that we haven't missed y'all, but Drew's got a kid, I've got a kid.
Boy, howdy.
And they will just suck the life right out of you.
Well, I mean,
you will never love as you've loved the love of a child, but they will just suck the life right out of you.
Yeah.
And you will never feel better about it.
Yeah.
You will be completely okay with it.
Let's not dwell on all that.
I'm not saying it in a bad way.
I echo what you're saying. I'm just, you go through phases, and I'm in a place of peace right now with all of that.
Yes.
A few months ago, not so much.
Yeah.
But I'm okay now.
It's kind of when they shift their patterns and you have to adjust to their new patterns, and you're like,
yeah.
I really like the old pattern. I knew that one.
I knew that pattern. I could plan on that pattern.
Yeah.
Set my watch to it. Not anymore. No. But this is not the Parenting Do podcast.
No.
This is the Devil's Do podcast.
That would be an interesting podcast.
How do we begin? Because it's been months.
It's been months.
So I don't know.
I guess I could say, but okay, how about this?
In general.
Drew,
Yes.
how was your year?
My year was one of strikes and gutters, ups and downs, as the dude might say.
Right.
However, the last few months have been great. I got a new job, which has been a super positive change for me. Totally different environment. Different. I'm still a software developer, but I'm in a much better company with a much different focus. We make a product as opposed to working for clients. Now I work on a product that my company sells and licenses. So I'm actually doing productive work, which is nice. And my boss and my team are fantastic. They treat us like adults. I'm not having to track my time to the nanosecond for billable hours and then sweat when I don't have necessarily everything accounted for and yada yada and budgets and nope. Everything's kosher. Everything's cool. And it's been a really, really great change for me. And again, I really like everyone I work with and the nature of the work. So it's been really good. That's going great. The band is, I'm not going to say reactivated, but we did get kind of reactive over the summer to play a show in early September, which went really well. Had a great time playing music again. And then in the months after that, the new Long Cold Dark album finally dropped on Black Friday. You can all check it out on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, any digital platform. It's available already. It's called There Are No Answers, and it's out. Check it out. Download it, buy it, stream it, whatever you do. Just check it out and tell some friends about it because I'm really, 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 really proud of it, and I'm stoked about it. And I got to a place with it where I was like really miserable about it because the mastering phase of the album took way longer than I wanted it to, and there were some headbutt moments with the engineer about it, but we finally kind of got together and steamrolled through it and got it done to both of our satisfaction. And it's out, and now I can finally exhale and not worry about it anymore. It was 3 years it took me to make that record, and when I say me, I made the record. So I had help from various musicians and guest spots, but I recorded everything. I mixed everything. It was just a lot of work and a lot of effort to get it there, but I finally got it there. So I'm proud of that. I'm happy with it. I hope you all check it out, and maybe, if you have the time and the wherewithal, let me know what you think of it. I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts about it, even if heavy metal isn't necessarily your thing. I write in such a way that I hope someone can take away something from it, even if maybe it's not 100% their jam. So that's what's up. I'm off this week.
So
yes.
Really quickly, just to interject. If the people would like to support you, what is the purchase method that nets you the most coin?
Probably Bandcamp at this point, and you can get it on Bandcamp. So just go to thelongcolddark.bandcamp.com, and we're on there. They have a very fair payout, and that goes directly to us. The majority of the money goes directly to us, whereas with a stream, micro fractions of a cent per stream. So don't even, I mean, hey, stream it, listen to it, that's fine. Just know that that's not helping me much. And then I think iTunes, if you buy it on iTunes, we get a decent percentage of that as well. So those are your best ways. But anyway, I've had the week off. I haven't been quite as productive as I would have liked to have been, because why would I be, of course? But I did manage to get a full rehearsal in with another drummer yesterday. So we're planning another show in the springtime. Look out for that. It's going to be March 18th at Mohawk Place in Buffalo. COVID pending, of course. God only knows. So I'm really stoked about that. And I finally also got my Nine Inch Nails cover song recorded and mastered, and I just submitted it today to the distributor for cover song licensing, because that has to go through the proper channels. So as soon as that gets approved, that'll be up on all those digital outlets as well. So look out for that. That's another thing I did recently.
By the way, I just bought your album.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. I hope you like it. And on Bandcamp, by the way, not to make this a whole whoring session, I've got a bundle price for all 4 albums, and it's very reasonable if you ask me. So anyway, I've read a ton of books. I've read every Expanse book on that shelf.
Of which there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
7. 7 of them. I'm in the 8th right now. The 9th just came out in hardcover in November. 9th and final. So I plan on finishing the 8th. And by the time I do, there's probably going to be a little gap in between here because I'm going at a pretty proper clip right now. The paperback will be out in the springtime, I believe. And for the sake of my shelf consistency, I cannot buy the hardcover. Yes, conform. But season 6 just started. We can talk about that a little bit later if you want to. That's been my time, really. Be it that and being toddler dad, 3-year-old dad.
Yeah.
3 is a whole different animal than 2.
Yeah.
But it's been great. Anything else going on?
California.
I went to California.
California.
Again. Some of y'all might know I go to California periodically. And I went yet again to San Francisco to see, yet again, Metallica twice.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time we go to California, I get a little nervous.
Why?
Because I think ultimately one day you're going to decide to move there.
No, Carl, I can't afford to move there.
Well, you have a job that you have a skill that's very easy to find a job in.
Here's the thing. While that's true, I will be competing with many more developers that are far more skilled than I in that region that is in demand for them. So, and even then, there's only so many spots. They're only going to pay so much, and what you might get for your dollar there is not the same as here.
Right.
Like, even if you scaled it, do you know what this house, your house, would cost in San Francisco, California?
Minimum $1 million.
Minimum. My house, 2 to 3.
Yep.
I mean, yours probably 2, maybe 3. It's bananas, absolute bananas. So no, I doubt they would scale my pay accordingly, where I could afford a $3 million home. That's not to say that I, couldn't live in a smaller home or whatever. But I mean, you like to stretch out a little bit.
Yeah, I get that.
No, I do love it there. I really do. It's beautiful. But to be honest, I could never leave. I could never leave all of my friends and family. Yeah, I said what I said.
Just me. You could say.
Just you. I wouldn't know what to do with myself because I mean the respite. My things I look forward to most, and the holidays have bore this out for me personally. I look forward to spending time with the people I care about. That is my primary source of joy. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a lot of hobbies and they're all great and they're all very solitude and I enjoy them, but I really just like being around people that I like. I feel like me or tolerate me.
I've noticed like the later on you get in life, I'm just saying generally you, not you specifically, you tend, depending on like what your path in life is, some people it's different, but you tend to make less new friends. And really like invest in the friendships that are there.
Yeah.
Like even our friendship just kind of happened by osmosis.
More or less.
By you kind of coming to a shop.
Yeah, kind of. And not for nothing, Carl, but I mean, I'm so eternally grateful for everything you've done for us and helping us out with Grant and clothes, hand-me-downs and toys and just everything. Like you've been incredibly, I'm so grateful.
A small trinket to show appreciation for the friendship you've gifted me with over the years. But yeah, like I've noticed now, like as I'm older, like I don't actively seek new friendships. Like I don't really put myself in situations where I'm going to make new friendships. I'm not opposed to it.
Right.
You never know what's going to be around the corner, but like, the family you choose has always been a strong narrative in my life. because my biological family is so incredibly small.
Right.
I define family differently, and I'm, happy to say that I define you and Jen and Grant as family. So yeah, I think that's just a product of just getting older and taking stock of what you have.
That's fair. And, without saying that I'm getting soft in my old age, I think I'm just getting more thoughtful. I still got some venom. I still got fangs, Carl.
You do.
But they don't come out as much. I've kind of, I pick my spots a little more than I used to.
But don't worry, we're about to talk about pop culture, so get the file out to sharpen those bad boys up.
Oh, don't worry, they're coming. They're ready. They're unsheathed. That's me. Hopefully, I'm in a good place. Hopefully, you're all in a good place. How you doing?
2021 is kind of a tale of two cities for me. And it's pretty like the year started out obviously with, the promise and hope of a new year after the hellscape 2020 was for all of us. Got vaccinated, got boosted. We were able to get back together, start game one. I was able to reconnect with, my friends in person, which was such a huge thing because I'm a very sociable person. So those being able to physically reconnect with those deeper connections was huge. I was in a job that I liked and was good at, and kind of always wanted to move forward in the company. And then I got the opportunity to move forward in the company, and I took it. And that is where the road diverged.
And that's the rub, isn't it?
Yeah. That turned out to be a terrible mistake. So that was kind of halfway, not like half. Well, yeah, pretty little. Yeah, it was late August. So roughly, a little past the halfway point of the year. And it's just been, I kind of got sold a bill of goods, and it's been incredibly stressful and frustrating. And, just, it has made time with my family, time with Julie and William, that much more important to me. Our game nights, that much more important to me. And so like right now I'm just kind of really, aside from being here and being able to do this, I'm just kind of really in a frustrated mind state about where I am right now. Now, I'm seeking advice and wisdom of others, constant prayer about it, seeing what God wants for my life. So we'll see. We'll see what 2022 holds. Obviously it can always get much worse, but it can also get better too. So we'll just kind of go forward with that. Trying to think of what else. William started kindergarten this year.
That's big.
It was funny because like he started kindergarten. His first week of kindergarten was my first full week at my new job, which for my new job, I actually had to return to the office, which was a very different experience than I was anticipating. I was actually pretty excited about returning to the office.
Yeah, again, this is where you and I differ.
Liking my job.
Yeah.
But that quickly turned into, wow, this place is a depressing ghost town. It still is to this day. But no, William started kindergarten, and that's been a very interesting experience. He likes it. Obviously, there are those days where we get some, tears and crying in the morning saying he doesn't want to go and whatnot and things like that. But he always ends up going and having a good time. But that's been really interesting experience. Just kind of seeing how school is done now. And just, yeah. But, I mean, count our blessings. For the most part, he really enjoys it.
Good.
He's doing okay. He's got some challenges, but, I have every confidence in him. And, we're helping him get through that. And so that's been a surreal experience. Julie, for the most part, is still working home, with the exception of one day a week. So we had a new addition in our lives this year. We got a new car.
It's like, whoa, that was not what I expected to hear.
Oh God, no. No. Yeah, no, we're firmly one and done.
Oh, as are we.
So yeah, got a new car. We're now 2 BMW family.
Ah.
So we were fortunate. We got it like right before the used car price spike.
Yeah.
So very nice, like under $20,000
Beamer.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Before the huge like spike in used car prices, you can get a nice BMW for a cheap price, at least in this area.
Yeah.
So, yeah. More learning about coffee. More developing the coffee skills. That's been enjoyable. Turkish coffee is my new foray. I was fine. Julie got me a very nice Turkish coffee set for my birthday, which comes with 2 like very nice Demitasse cups and some brass holders, and a small pot that makes the coffee, which I believe the pronunciation of the pot is ceviche.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I have no idea.
Probably am, because I'm exceedingly white.
I'm rusty on my Turkish, bro.
But the one that came with the set makes only enough for 1 cup.
Oh.
These are very small cups. Think of like
espresso kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's stronger than espresso.
Ooh.
Yes. At least I think. I ordered another ceviche that can make like the 2 cups at the same time, because the thing around Turkish coffee is more like it's a cultural experience, and it's meant to be like shared. Like it's not necessarily meant to be a solo process. So I got that, and then for Christmas, my mother got me a Turkish coffee grinder. You're probably thinking, but Carl, you already have a really nice coffee grinder.
You do.
Bring it over to the house for game night.
Yes.
Turkish coffee needs to be extremely fine. It needs to be like the grinds need to be pretty much the consistency of talc powder.
Very fine.
Yes.
Wow.
And my grinder cannot get to that point.
Wow.
And so there are specific Turkish coffee grinders. And it's a hand crank grinder, which takes some time.
Sure.
Not going to lie. For like 7 grams of coffee, which doesn't sound like a lot, you're cranking for like 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
Because you need it so fine.
Yeah.
So I've done it twice. Both times came out good, but could be better. So that, yeah.
Keep at it.
Indeed. All right.
We're caught up.
Dear listeners.
Kind of. Mostly.
Yeah, your album just finished downloading.
Sweet.
If you want to throw a sample song on at the end of this episode for the people to entice purchase,
they can go on YouTube and just check out the first single. It's already out. Or you can stream the whole thing on Bandcamp. Just go for it.
So yeah, that is our catching ups. Folks, if you'd like to catch up with us, we might not do this all the time, but the inbox is always open. You can reach out to us and find us at the following social media locations. You can follow us on Twitter at Devils Do Pod. You can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/DevilsDoPod. You can email us at thedevilsdopod@gmail.com, or you can find all these resources available to you on our website, thedevilsdopodcast.com. Drew, that being said, before we have emails, I have a top 5-ish list for you.
Okay.
Now, I'm doing this list to spite myself because it's a top 5 list that only has 4 entries because I forgot the 5th entry.
I was going to ask, are we going to go through with it because it's technically an incomplete list?
It is an incomplete list, but I reserve the right as the bearer of the list to revisit the list at any time, make alterations or additions.
Okay. All right.
So this is a top 5 list with only 4 entries because I forgot the 5th entry.
It's our show. It's our rules.
It's our show. It's our rules. You don't like it?
Make your own
email
show.
us and let us know. So, Drew, been working on this one for a while.
Okay.
Which is why it's all the more frustrating I forgot the 5th entry.
Okay.
Top 5 perfect films. Now, what do I mean by perfect film? Now, let's make a very important differentiation here.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect does not equate to best,
Okay.
at least in my analogy. Perfect means this film executes everything it sets out to do flawlessly and is just, as it presents itself, is just perfect execution. Yeah, it's perfect execution. So these are in no particular order because they're all perfect. How do you rank perfection? They're different, but to me, they're all perfect.
Okay.
So starting at number 4,
Again,
because there's no number 5.
Right. Well, that and you said, like you said, they're not in no particular order. This is just the order you're reading them. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
The Princess Bride.
Okay.
I'm sure you're familiar with it.
I am. I don't have the love, the extreme love for it that some do.
People take the love for it to an extreme. I get that.
Yeah.
But like when you step back from like the quoting of it, the merchandising of it, things like that, and just examine the movie on its own.
Yes. Fantastic film.
It's like it nails every beat it sets out to do. Its pacing is flawless. It's just the performances are amazing. You've got, this classic story kind of reimagined and just like probably the best sword fight scene in movie history.
No wasted time.
Yeah. Pacing on all these films I feel is key.
Pacing in any film is key.
Because it just uses Zack Snyder. Pay attention.
Yes.
It just uses all the buffalo. Like there's nothing left.
Right.
No
fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, satisfying conclusion, amazing performances. Great. Number 3. The Iron Giant.
Yes. Yep.
I challenge anyone to find fault with this film.
No.
Because
They're
it captures a type of story and a style that at the time of its release had long since gone away. Was fondly remembered, but never really done anymore. Like the 50s sci-fi with a pinch of noir in there.
And it's really just a heartwarming boy and his dog story, except his dog is a giant robot.
Yeah. And like, seriously, like there's so much heart in that film. Probably what has more heart? Princess Giant or Princess Giant?
Princess Giant.
Princess Bride or Iron Giant. That's a tough call. But it's just it's every beat it wants to hit at the right time.
Yeah.
And just like vocal performances, fantastic. The emotional connection between the boy and the giant. I mean, we're never not going to cry when we see this film.
Nope. Vin Diesel makes me cry with his very few words.
Family.
Go on.
Don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning. Roll to your every time. Keep driving, Dom. Keep driving.
Stop it. Get out of here.
Okay. Number 2. Predator.
Yes.
Tell me another movie where you get 3 movies in one. And each one,
I'm not prepared for that.
Each one is just flawlessly executed.
So in Predator, you get
classic 80s action film.
Yes.
You get like the first part of the film is like that 80s action movie.
Yep.
Military operation.
Yep.
Then you get a haunted house movie.
But the house being the jungle, but yes.
The house being the jungle, right. And then for the third act, you get this like classic man versus nature.
And mind you, it's also a sci-fi film.
Yeah, and it's a sci-fi science fiction film. Yeah. And I'm killing this term, but it works. It hits each beat flawlessly.
Predator is incredible. It can't be understated.
The soundtrack.
It can't be overstated.
Like when you just like hearing those drums, the hairs in the back of my head kind of like stand up.
Great score, great performances across the board.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys might not be thespians, but you remember every character in that movie.
Right.
You know you do. Yeah, Predator rules. And okay, give me your number one, and just I'm going to piggyback on Predator if it's not your number one.
All right. I doubt very much.
I doubt it too.
Yeah.
But
because this has been the one film.
All right, well, it's probably not going to be the
okay,
let me piggyback on Predator because it's directed by the same guy. Let me throw the first Die Hard at you as a perfect film. Now, it doesn't have that total package deal that we name, but again, John McTiernan.
It knows what it wants to be.
It knows what it wants to
do.
It knows what it is, and it hits every beat like perfectly. Not to mention slightly comedic, but also actiony. It gave us the everyman action hero that became popular later, and truly memorable villains, memorable heroes.
Yeah,
infinitely quotable. Great movie. McTiernan in the 80s. Go medium.
Thank you, cocaine.
Yeah, right. Now, Cook McTiernan later on,
sometimes you start to believe your own hype. And
sometimes you go to jail. But anyway, Predator, Die Hard, 1A, 1B in my headcanon. Anyway, number one, Carl.
Die Hard, not a Christmas movie.
That's another debate. I'm not talking about that.
All right. Number one for me, the film that I've said for the longest time is a perfect film, Casablanca.
Okay. That's your pick.
Bogart.
Yep.
Bogart is probably the most pure, cool actor that's ever graced the screen. Like, if you have not explored his work, I really encourage you to, because you will see where so many of the characters that we've loved in our youth and later on in life can trace their lineage to, which is so many Bogart characters. Like, have you ever seen Casablanca?
No.
Okay, so if you watch Casablanca, you're going to see where, like, even Lucas took a lot of beats from for very specific things in the original Star Wars.
Okay.
Specifically the Mos Eisley Cantina. Like, think of how that cantina was first presented when you walk into it. That is straight out of Casablanca when they walk into Rick's American. And just the character of Rick, the love story with Ilsa, it's got everything. It's got like every aspect. It's got drama, it's got romance, it's got comedy. The film makes me cry at the French national anthem. I mean, it's if you enjoy movies on any level, you owe it to yourself to watch Casablanca.
All right. Fair enough. So you don't have a number 5?
I don't, because I forgot it.
Okay. I'm going to spitball this. This is not my list.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into detail.
Okay.
I'm just going to spit some at you.
Yep.
Of movies I would consider to be perfect films. Godfather 1 and 2. Perfect films. Majestic films. True cinema, if you will.
Shut up, Marty.
Goodfellas. Again, stellar film. Like, I can recite that movie. It's so good. And I don't want to make this a top 5, so I'll cap it here. I probably have others. But the original Ghostbusters. Perfect movie. Love it. Love everything about it. Love the script. Love the performances. Love the soundtrack. Love New York. Love the aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I mean, I have not seen Afterlife.
I haven't seen it either.
But OG Ghostbusters, lightning in a bottle,
Right.
put it in the Smithsonian. It's magic.
Yeah. No, I've no disagreement with any of those.
Anyway, that's just, we don't have to spend any more time on that. Get them out there.
So that was the list. Folks, let us know what you think. Now, getting to our emails. We have 3 emails from
Let's roll, baby.
faithful regulars of the Devil's Due. First email comes to us from Mr. Adam Williams,
Hey,
who hits us with a little bit of poetry up top.
poetry.
Poetry.
What is- George Lucas over there.
'Twas the night before the Devil's Due pod, and I thought, what a treat. My dreams for my ears would finally meet. The delightful banter of 2 dudes in their cave made me think of Austin Powers saying, "Oh, behave."
Okay.
Reunions are sweet and long overdue. I welcome the chance to hear another episode of The Devil's Due.
Aw. That took effort, and I appreciate it.
That did took effort. All right, questions. Both. What is your most anticipated nerd thing upcoming in 2022?
Ooh. Oh. Wow. $2021 wasn't bad. I mean, we kind of got
No,
we got a lot of gems here. So, wow. I don't know. I literally do not know.
I would probably say, because I'm not sure if 100% for certain they're coming out in 2022, but probably either Ahsoka
Okay.
or Mandalorian Season 3. I think Mandalorian Season 3 is probably 2023.
It might be December or 2023.
Right.
Yeah.
But definitely Ahsoka.
Okay.
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah. I mean, that's a thing. Is that the thing that I'm most excited for?
There's nothing that immediately springs to mind of like, give it to me now, hook it up to my veins.
Now, mind you, we can talk about this a little later when we get into some movie stuff. Things aren't quite hitting me quite the same way at the moment, so it's hard for me to tell you. I'm not trying to step on anyone's hype. You hype what you hype. I don't know. I'm in a content place with a lot of stuff. So I don't have a lot of things I'm just chomping at the bit for right now. But having said that, the Marvel teaser for 2022 did show us glimpses of She-Hulk and Moon Knight.
Yes.
Both of which made me perk up. So let's say that. She-Hulk and Moon Knight, show me what you got.
Poe Dameron in the Marvel Universe.
Full costume.
Full cape.
Let's go. No, yeah, we didn't see the full costume, but I saw a cape, sir.
There's cape. Cape.
So just give me the Moon Knight.
Yes.
And let me see what She-Hulk looks like, because again, I'm a She-Hulk fan and I hope that show is a lot of fun.
Yep. Alrighty. What I think he might have missed a word here, because he's got this word. And what was the Christmas gift you received this year? I'm guessing he's probably asking what was the best Christmas gift you received this year.
Let's see. I mean, I got what I asked for, which is always kind of like, you hate to. You get what you ask for, but like I'm at a point in my life where I ask for things that I don't feel are, I never want to ask for anything too big, so I just set reasonable small thing, because if I don't expect anyone to get me anything, don't go out of your way to get me something expensive, because it's just not. Please don't spend your money on my account, please. So that said, my favorite Christmas gift this year, oh gosh, I got some great books. I got some great video games. I got socks and undies, which are, hey, as you get older,
socks and undies.
I ain't gonna buy that stuff for myself. So if I get it for Christmas, I'm happy as a camper. Carl, not gonna lie, the coffee grinder is getting used every day. So I'm sitting pretty with the coffee grinder right now.
Well, I appreciate that. I think the favorite thing I got this year, Julie got me a really nice Mandalorian sweater. can't remember if I sent you a picture of it or not, but here you go.
Very nice. Oh, yeah, like a hockey sweater, kind of.
Yeah,
A little bit. Nice. Very nice.
got some classy look to it. Doesn't look like too like Star Warsy. It's like I said, you gotta look at it and give it a look or two before you know what it is.
That's my favorite stuff.
So yeah,
Great.
there's that. Let's see what things may be in store for the Devils Due in 2022. Thanks, boys. May gaming be in your future, Adam.
This, but in 2022.
Yeah, pretty much. I think right now, although stuff we talk about in the show later on may have impacts on.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. Spoilers.
Yeah. Yeah, folks, like if you're listening at this point, like Star Wars, Marvel,
Spoilers
if it came out
ahoy.
this year, it's getting spoiled. So
Let's just say,
you be
Carl,
warned.
we had conversations about changing the name of the show at a certain point.
Did?
We did.
What were we going to change it to?
I don't know, but I was against it, and now who was right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember we were talking about kind of rebranding. And,
No,
the grumpy old geeks would have.
no, we're back, baby.
It's in satanic form.
Kevin Feige sent me a text just said, "You're back, baby."
Fire it up. Yeah, I mean, again, it's tough. Life finds a way of like preventing us from doing this. Because again, that, I'm sure you're listening to us right now and be like, well, just do it like before you game, or then it
Doesn't work that way.
doesn't quite work that way.
No,
Those who game know. Those who don't should.
right.
All right. So Adam, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Now on to Mr. J. Gelsomino.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Drew and Carl,
Yes.
what are you looking forward to most from wrestling
Ooh.
in 2022?
Let's I'm looking forward to AEW keeping their momentum going.
Yep.
Continuing to attract a bigger and bigger audience. Growing. Hopefully getting in a position where maybe they legitimately can turn the pop cultural tide where it's not just one company on people's lips when they think of pro wrestling anymore. So that's a tall order for 1 year, I know, but just keep. I'm looking forward to that progression. I look forward to Wednesday every single week. AEW has been a real blessing in so many ways that we have it, and that it's good. Some people have qualms about things. That's fine, but overall, I feel that we get a high quality, enjoyable program every Wednesday that is light years beyond what other companies are doing, and yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm also looking forward to, and I really hope this happens, God, COVID, who knows how or what. I hope New Japan can get back on their feet and get some momentum going again, and bring back some glory time that they had for the in the 20 teens. When they had basically the run of a lifetime, when they really became NJPW, as I'm gesturing with my hands, that like they had a golden era, and then now it feels like that era is if not over, the window is closing.
Yeah,
I hope 2022 can show promise of a new great era, and I think it can. But COVID has done the country no favors. It's been very difficult. But
COVID has done the world no favors.
I know. Oh no, you're not kidding, man. But just in a microcosm, NJPW has taken a beating due to COVID. Just with talent, with fan restrictions, with show cancellations, it's been tough, and their momentum has been basically they've been kneecapped for a while. And I hope they can get back on their feet and return to glory. And then ideally cross over with AEW and give me some great shows.
Yes. Drew, I've got 4 words to answer Jay's question.
Go.
Chaos Project title push. push.
Chaos Project title push. No, I don't see it. Just gonna put that out there. Hey, you know what I want for 20? You know what I'm most looking forward to in 2022?
2.0 title push.
Yes. You want a taste?
You want a taste?
You want a taste? One word. Hook.
Hook. Not since LeBron James
Wow.
has an athlete been so hyped and delivered so completely on what we never knew we wanted
I'm gonna tell you what.
until Hook.
They sent Hook. Listen.
I will not be fully satisfied until I hear an audience chanting, Hook, Hook, give us the hook, 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 give us the hook.
I know we're going to talk about wrestling. Well, this is it right here. Let's get it off our chest now.
We're gonna. Well, we got a small section to talk about wrestling.
All right, we got a little to cover today, so I don't want to go too long. All I'll say is he was basically a meme, and that's funny up to a point.
Yeah.
Then he came out, and it's like, well, he looks good. He's got a cool look. This is okay.
Good intro music.
Good intro music. He looks different. He looks cool. He's in great shape.
Yep.
Young kid, handsome boy. Gets in the ring.
Oh, he can go.
He can kind of go. So it's not all, if he would have looked terrible, the meme is dead, right?
Yeah.
But no. Hook, Happy learned how to putt.
Yeah.
So it's, oh my God, this is actually a thing. So yeah, let's go. I'm all in. Give me more.
There is something I specifically want to see from wrestling in 2022, but we'll cover that when we talk.
Okay, yes, let's move on.
In the section. All right. Jay's question for you.
Oh.
What song from the Long Cold Dark catalog would you see fitting a wrestler for their theme music?
Oh, that's a great question.
I'm gonna go one step further. I'm gonna give you the wrestler to make it a little bit easier. Malachi Black.
Oh God. You see, Malachi's theme right now is very moody. It's very, it's moody. See what I did there? Nah, you don't get it, Carl. But wrestling fans will remember. Michael Cole, you idiot. Anyway, unintentional Michael Coleism on my part. Ugh, I'll never forgive myself now. I don't have my stuff. Isn't quite. It's not quite that.
Doesn't have that tempo.
Yeah, I like things a little more up tempo, a little faster, a little more.
Maybe more a little Darby Allin.
No, I like Darby's song a lot too. That's big mood too. But if you were to give me Malachi, I would look through my catalog and I'd probably say, God, yeesh, I don't know, man. I don't know that I would fit. Despite us being metal guys, Malachi's whole aesthetic is very different than what I put out. But if I had to,
or maybe like Lance Archer.
Oh God, Archer, pick a song. I'm bad, Carl. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. To Jay's question, what song would be a great wrestling intro song?
All of them.
The Phoenix would be good. The Phoenix would be a good intro, a good walk down for a wrestler. Good tempo, good riff, memorable. Or if you're going full tilt, Run to the Ring like the Warrior, 12 hours or something like that would work. But only the Warrior could do that, and he's dead. So whatever. I don't advise doing that.
Okay, Carl. Did you watch Jaws the Revenge this Christmas, given that it is the greatest Christmas movie in the world? I did not, because Jay, unfortunately, it is not a Christmas movie. Moving on to Mr. Alan Waiters.
He's never writing again.
Yes, he will.
Yeah, Alan.
Gentlemen, glad to see you're back in POG form. I hope you.
How did I get in this POG?
I hope you have a blessed and less stressful New Year. Carl and Drew. The MCU has had quite the year, especially the Disney Plus shows. Which of the villains disappointed you the most, and which one was a pleasant surprise? Well, I think for the pleasant surprise, that's Baron Zemo, hands down. He danced his way into our hearts.
He did. But I'm here. I'm all in on Agatha. So,
Yeah.
put some respect on her name.
Agatha.
I mean, I think we all knew she was the villain,
Yep.
so it's not like a surprise. But once they did the big reveal and
The song.
Catherine Hahn, tip of the hat. So, I mean, was there really a villain per se in Loki? Not really. It was more ensemble and,
Yeah.
big conspiracy. There was no big bad
Right.
that we got to really savor for the whole season. So I'm going with Agatha Harkness. Props to Zemo. I'm fist bumping for Zemo right now. Give me that dance all day long.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there were any disappointing ones.
Oh, the Flag Smashers, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one,
Yes.
I would say probably them.
In fact, now that we have several of these Marvel shows, Falcon and Winter Soldier is just aging poorly on me. I wanted it. I wanted it to be a lot better than it was.
Yeah, see, I still really enjoyed it.
I like it, but I wanted to really like it.
Yeah.
I just kind of liked it.
Gotcha. Carl, with the success of No Way Home, what is your expectations for the director's Fantastic Four movie?
Okay, Swerve.
Besides Emily Blunt and John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman,
We don't know that.
Yeah. Which would you like to see star as Marvel's first family? I also don't think you should lead with Doom. The stench of Josh Trank still stings the nostrils. I would say go with a lesser villain like Mole Man or Puppet Master. I agree with that. I don't think you lead with Doom.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination. I believe you build Doom.
You
establish Doom.
Yeah.
Doom.
Doom is your next Thanos.
Yeah.
If you do it right.
Doom deserves to be like the big bad.
Or the next Loki. In that he is a villain and you give him big villainous arcs.
Right.
But can turn babyface if the situation presents itself.
But kind of like, Stone Cold babyface. To where he's kind of still acting like a villain.
He's still villainous, but he helps when he has to. And you cheer for him because he does.
Yeah.
But he's still a bad guy.
Right.
Yeah.
As far I don't think it's going to be Krasinski and Emily Blunt for those two. I think that time is kind of past. I don't know. I think honestly, I don't know.
I don't know what direction they're going to go, so it's hard to say who I would cast. Like I'm too old to.
Yeah.
I can't cast anything anymore, dude. I don't know.
I just don't know who's really out there. This was 10, 15 years ago. You're gonna laugh. I'd say probably George Clooney for Mr. Fantastic.
I could see it.
'Cause he'd have fun with it.
Maybe. Might not.
Yeah. Sounds kind of stupid when you say it out loud, but yeah.
I mean, he was Batman.
The man's good at his job. Do we see him in the next Flash movie?
No. But you know what? No, never mind. We'll get.
Yeah.
Hey, look. Okay. Let me put this out there.
Give me a taste.
In a DC film? No. But if it were a Marvel film, he would have an opportunity at redemption.
Yeah. As we've seen.
Yeah. DC, they don't have that kind of foresight.
Yeah. As far as the villain they should go with, I think I would agree either Mole Man just for that classic first villain.
Yeah.
But at the same
Annihilus.
time, yeah, I was going to say my second choice would be Annihilus. Because Mole Man even still feels kind of small for the Fantastic Four.
Sure.
In the world that they
want to
would be
build.
established.
Yeah. Give me Annihilus. Give me the negative zone.
Yeah.
Which Trank tried to do, but it kind of sucked. So
no, there was no kinda about it.
Oh, I know. I'm being very kind.
A kick to the testicles of my soul. That movie was. Drew.
Yeah.
Is Metroid Dread the game of the year?
A lot of questions. Is Jade just alternating questions? Oh, with Alan. I'm sorry.
No, it's Alan.
My God, Alan. I apologize.
Drew, is Metroid Dread the game of the year? If not,
Yes.
what is? What is your
it
favorite gift for Christmas that you received? Where I kind of covered that.
Got that. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I saw the list of, and again, I don't want to give credence to these award shows, the game awards. Who cares? Like, who decided this was the list, or who are these people? It's not even like, you say what you want about the Academy Awards, but if there is an Academy, there is of arts and science. Like, this is a board of people that do, judge others. They are members. They review each other's work.
Yeah.
It's a whatever. The Game Awards is just this arbitrary thing that this guy came up with.
Yeah.
Who are you? Who is judging? And it's not even like the proper people can even be fully credited with the awards. Games are made by more people than you can imagine. I mean, most games. Of course, there are games made by small teams and I love a lot of those games. I love indie games.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. But by and large, the games you have heard of that you get all this press, game of the year, and all, whatever this award show gives out, it's made by a faceless corporation that hires dozens, if not hundreds, of developers who go unnoticed. You skip their names in the credits. They're often laid off immediately after completing their work on the title and forgotten. The company will go on to make money forever, and the developer that made the thing is possibly unemployed. So, anyway, having said that, I saw that list of games of the year, and it's Metroid Dread, and it wasn't, but it should have been.
What was the game of the year?
I don't even know. It Takes Two, I think the game was called.
No.
Never even played it. I'm sure it's fine, but it ain't Metroid Dread. Which I loved, by the way.
Yeah.
Hence, it's the game of the year.
Spoilers for our game section. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for the gifts. And have a prosperous new year with me winning many board games.
Thank you, Alan.
All right. That does it for the email questions. Now let's break down this wonderful thing that was 2021.
Into sections?
In the sections. Let's start with the section that if we left to last, most people would probably turn off.
Okay,
the wrestling section.
Okay, go.
Yeah, so we started kind of getting this. It was a really great year for AEW. I'm really enjoying the product. And again, a lot of that enjoyment is like due to like the fact that we're constantly chatting throughout the show.
Of course. Me often at a delay.
You often had a considerable delay.
Sorry. That's my night, man. I'm sorry.
Halfway through the show, Drew's like, just starting up.
Yep. It's my life.
Yeah, just like, I mean, I think you have to start with CM Punk.
So, Carl, you are a CM Punk. This is your first entry into the CM Punk.
Yes, my first foray into the Punkiverse.
What were your thoughts upon his arrival?
So,
and despite let me go a little bit further. You, as someone who have not really been exposed to him, me as someone who was a big fan and remembers vividly his exit from the industry and a 7 long years of various like, oh, he might come back here, oh, he might come back there.
Right.
AEW starting, oh, he'd be a really big get here, and it's just never happening. It finally happened. So what were your thoughts without having that investment? Right. Did he deliver to you on arrival?
So I remember talking to you prior to that show because we were here for that.
Yes.
We were here for that debut.
Yeah.
And I remember asking you, I understand that CM Punk is a big deal that he's coming back. I don't know why he's a big deal.
Right.
And you kind of like laid it out for me in very, I don't want to say generic terms, but you didn't fill in all the gaps because I think you knew that it was something to be experienced. And I think you had more confidence that ever before that he was coming back.
Yeah.
And so that first night in Chicago, within 5 minutes, I got it.
Yeah.
Because and that was before he even started talking. Like just the reaction, like, yeah, pops exist on numerous levels I found. There is like pop you get for your first debut. There's a pop you get for like a hometown appearance. This was so far beyond what that was. Like, I could see that this is what wrestling, beyond AEW, beyond WWE, this is what wrestling had been waiting for so long. And when he came out and started to speak, like, you cannot help but not be pulled in by his passion. And, you know, yes, kayfabe is a thing, but if he is doing kayfabe out there, no one has ever done kayfabe better, and it's not even a conversation.
He is discussed as being one of the absolute greatest on the mic ever. He has an authenticity. He's got an edge, and he knows how to deliver daggers when he has to.
Yeah,
that very few people could ever do.
Right,
and he still got it.
Yeah, he still got it. And then, like, so okay, the debut, which got huge eyes on AEW. And then seeing his in-ring performance since then, and this is where we kind of differ on it, because you felt that he should have gotten thrown like right into the main event.
I think it would have
right away.
I think it would have benefited the company had they could have popped a buy rate bigger, or they could have made it feel bigger if he was in a higher profile program right away. Not to say that I don't think what he's doing or did is what he should be doing. And I think it's generous and gracious of him to do it, to work with the young guys. Right. And that's great. And it's working. I mean, it is working. Yeah. Long term, it's going to pay off. But I'm just looking at it from I want AEW to really shine. I want this company to grow and be hot. And I don't know that him working young guys exclusively was the path for that.
See, and I disagree, because when you look at the closeness of the time he debuted, and then we got Danielson and Adam Page.
Okay.
So
yes,
I think that's
true.
Because AEW's doing it right.
Yeah.
Because you've got these three massive gets.
I mean, Adam Cole, you mean?
Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Sorry. Adam Cole. Baby. You've got these three massive gets. And if you put all of them to the top of the card
there's no
away,
room. Yeah.
First off, there's no room. Second off, you're drowning out what got you there.
True.
Which is like the AEW originals. So I think they've done it really smart, putting Danielson and Cole at the top 1B slot of the card, and letting Punk just kind of work with who he wants to work with. And we all knew
letting Punk just be the draw on his own.
Let Punk,
that's fair.
Because like all you need to put on a ticket is CM Punk.
Yeah.
It could be CM Punk fights Big Bird. People are still going to show
well, I'm there for that.
Like with Cole and Danielson, you kind of want to know like who, like what's the other part of this equation.
Yeah.
With Punk, all you need is Punk. We knew eventually they had to get him in a program with MJF because the microphone would just disintegrate.
And it has.
And it's just like, I cannot wait to see where this thing's going to go. I'm okay with where he is right now. And I think at some point you kind of swap Punk and Danielson.
Could happen. Sure. Punk at some point I feel will get a shine at the top of the card. So it's gonna happen. I don't know with who, I don't know when. But it'd be silly. It would be very surprising, let's put it that way, if he didn't.
So I think obviously CM Punk, the biggest story of the year.
Yeah, by far.
The second biggest story of the year.
No.
Hook transcends stories. Hook is an entire experience. The second biggest story of the year, especially since what we found out recently, it's got to be Kenny Omega. The performances.
Yeah, no,
that-
well, I mean, thinking exclusively AEW, yeah, I think the biggest story of the year in the industry, in my opinion, is WWE just laying off everyone.
Right.
Shocking names.
Yeah.
Adam Cole, for one. Not, he didn't get laid off, but he wasn't going back. But, I mean, Black.
Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
Keith Lee.
Keith Lee is a giant, like, how this guy ticks every one of your boxes. How are you letting him go?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The more and more I learn about how WWE does business, the more and more I'm just not interested at all in.
No, nor should you be. But yeah, Kenny Omega look, you know me. I fully go hard for Kenny Omega.
Right.
He's been the dude for me for years because I saw that dude in Japan put on the greatest wrestling matches I've probably ever seen in my life.
Right.
It's a whole different level.
Yeah.
And I know the sentiment has been for some people that there's just been something missing from him since he's come to AEW and yada yada, whatever.
Right.
And I always defended him, saying, he's still putting on banger matches
every time he steps in the ring.
But
it's incredible.
It is.
Like, he started the year with the exploding barbed wire death match, which the ending kind of sours it.
Yes, but it was a fun match.
When you think about the match leading up to that, it was an absolute banger.
Yeah. And he put on many bangers since then.
The 3-way match with Pac and Orange Cassidy.
Yes.
Not to mention, obviously the two highlights of the year for him were Danielson and Page, where he dropped the belt.
Let me put some respect on that Christian match too. He had some great matches with Christian Cage.
Yeah.
I thought they were great.
I would not rank the Cage match.
It's not on Danielson Omega level, but it's Danielson and Omega, for God's sake. Come on.
But and as we find out how injured he was.
Right. So that's what I was going to say.
Throughout all those performances.
If you did think that there was something missing, well, the dude was apparently fighting a brutal shoulder injury and vertigo in the ring.
Yeah.
How do you wrestle with doing the things that he does with the world spinning around you, for God's sake? My God. Kenny Omega.
So
you absolute madman.
I love Kenny Omega.
I'm
all for him taking a very long break.
Take a year.
Get 100% healthy.
Given the roster expanding the way it is and the storylines you can tell.
Yep.
Making room for elevating young guys, which they're doing right now before our eyes. Give Kenny a year before he shows up again to a huge mammoth, however long it takes him.
Right.
When he comes back, it's not going to matter. He's going to be Kenny Omega again, and he's going to be over immediately, and you have an infinite amount of stories you can tell with him coming back.
This segueing tag titles. Changed hands this year. Now, Drew, I love me some Lucha Brothers.
Same.
I love me some Lucha Brothers. This is what I want to see happen with the tag titles in 2022. I want two different champions.
Okay.
First champions, Jurassic Express.
Okay.
Take them off the Lucha Brothers.
Okay.
Because I love the Lucha Brothers, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the Lucha Brothers are still going to be awesome without tag titles.
Okay.
And we are both in agreement on this. Singles run for both of them.
At some point, it seems silly that Pentagon has not been on it. Yeah. He has charisma to spare. Let him run wild for a while.
Give Jurassic Express the titles for the first half of the year.
Okay.
Second half of the year, long overdue. Proud and Powerful.
Yes.
Because they've started showing up again recently on Dynamite, and you watch this team.
They're great. They've been great since day one.
And they are Young Bucks level performers.
They're amazing. And I feel like the Inner Circle is actually, like, being in the Inner Circle still, the Inner Circle should have disbanded a while back, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It has held back them because they've had to be obligated to be in that storyline. And it's held back Sammy Guevara, too, to a degree, in my opinion. Right. Sammy's TNT title run, kind of underwhelming. partially because he had obligations to be involved in inner circle shenanigans when he could have just been doing his own thing. So, but yeah, Proud and Powerful, Santana Ortiz, long overdue. Give those boys the belts. Let's go.
And then after them, Chaos Project.
Sure. Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with all that.
That's really what I want to see. A couple things are noticeable that if they continue could turn into somewhat concerning trends. The inability to wrap up a program cleanly, and
that's just pro
timely.
wrestling, unfortunately.
They haven't always had that problem, though. I've noticed it more this year. Like the Orange Cassidy, the Best Friends Hardy Foundation program. What was the ending there? How did it end? And we just went right into the Best Friends.
Well, Best Friends are not
calling it 2022 trend heel turn.
I'd be shocked if that happened, but I'm not going to say you're wrong. The Best Friends now are kind of engaged with the Elite, though. So, I mean, it's fine. We got a big return out of Trent out of it, for one thing.
Right.
And now they
more importantly, Sue.
You damn right.
And the van.
You literally lay down for Sue.
You lay down for Sue. Oh, man.
Brody.
Still missed.
Always will be. No, I think the Best Friends are in a good spot. They've expanded their ranks. Statlander's back. She's in great shape. She's doing really well. Yeah. Wheeler Yuta's a great wrestler. He's on the way up. Orange Cassidy's still Orange Cassidy. Still over. And Trent is back. He got hurt. Now he's back. He's got a new look. This is all good things. I think they're going to be fine. I like the intrigue with O'Reilly and Fish coming in. And what I mean by that is, number one, you have a faction that was over as hell on NXT, suddenly, quickly, almost without warning, before anyone can have a chance to forget about them, they're on the other show now.
Yeah.
Like, blink and they're over here. Okay.
Right.
That's incredible. That rarely, if ever, happens.
Yep.
So that's wild. But the cool thing about it is that they're using it to kind of plant seeds of doubt and distrust in the Elite with Cole and the Bucks and Undisputed. Good stuff. I like it.
I made my predictions for that.
I like it.
I think it's going to lead to a Bucks face turn.
Sure, probably.
Reuniting with
Hangman. With Hangman.
Kenny's on the shelf for a while.
Yeah. No, that all tracks. That could track well, depending on the story you want to tell. Hangman is champion so far. Okay.
I mean, one match,
soon to be two, and granted, they're going to be great matches.
Yeah. Would have liked to see more out of him at this point.
I feel like he could have been
maybe just even if it's just like a squasher here and there.
Yeah, right. Just feed him some guys. Give him some promo time.
Yeah,
he didn't even get that for a little while. But fair enough. Yeah. The payoff of him winning it alone was good. So let's see where they go with Hangman as champ. Maybe he's a transitional champ. That's fine. Some guys are just better as underdogs. Some guys are better chasing than they are when they get the prize. Hangman may be a case like that. We'll see. It's fine.
Alrighty.
Wrestling.
Love
it.
So much fun. All right. So next thing we want to talk about is TV shows.
Okay.
Got a lot. This was the year of the Marvel television show. The year of the Disney Plus.
Yeah. I don't have a ton to talk about, to be honest with you.
I think it's predominantly just Marvel stuff. We've already, on previous episodes, we covered how we feel about WandaVision and
Great.
Falcon, Winter Soldier.
Good.
Our last episode was just Loki was 2 episodes out.
Loki was good. Alligator Loki all day. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm all in. Give me that show.
Avengers.
6 episodes of just Alligator Loki. It was fine. I didn't go crazy about the Kang thing like a lot of people did. To me, the multiverse, we're here now. It's fine.
Right.
I'm living with it. This is just me. Okay. This might not be everyone. Clearly I may be an outlier.
Right.
I only have so much enthusiasm for the multiverse.
Right.
Because I feel like once you tell me that there's other versions of the characters running around, my investment in the one that you want me to care about is suddenly lessened because now he's no longer special. It's just one possibility of a story. The story might not even matter anymore because, oh, well, not really, because we can just pull something over here and, yep, there they are. See? They're not really gone. Here's a new one.
Yeah.
And fine, I don't know. If you're all about that, cool. We're going to see some crazy things. We've seen some crazy things. Yep. We'll get to that. But I'm just, as a whole, the concept doesn't really speak to me. Tell your story in the universe you're in.
Right.
And, make it matter. Make the stakes count.
So I've said this numerous times when it comes to multiverse. I think it's a fun toy. Mm-hmm. Play with it for a little bit and then put it away.
Yeah. Yeah. This can't go on forever.
Yeah. I don't want this to be a 10-year phase because the potential for things to go wrong and in Marvel we trust. They haven't, for the most part, they haven't let us down yet. But it's just have some fun with it. Let's get weird. Let's get nuts for a little bit. And then put it away. If I had to pick one thing that would be a permanent addition to the MCU because of the use of the multiverse, probably Miles Morales. And if that's how you get him in there, then fine.
And the thing is, if you think about it, you didn't even need the multiverse to get there. You had really a blank slate.
Yeah. So, again, the stuff we're getting out of it is really entertaining stuff that we'll obviously talk about in the movie segment. But yeah, again, I'm all for this as long as it doesn't go on for 10 years.
Cool.
Because if it's going on for 10 years, then
too long.
It's too long. That was just too long to deal with all this stuff. Because you're making an already, because barrier to entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is quite considerable right now. If you want to know everything, you're going to be putting in some time. It's not like it was when all you had to do was catch up through Thor: The Dark World. So you're asking a lot to people. And now if you're going to introduce this massive thing where you're constantly having to connect dots from different puzzles to one another, then you're really not being as user friendly.
Right.
As you were. You're just constantly rewarding the fans who have been with you along the way while not making new fans.
Yeah. That's been the problem with the comics for a long time. And that's why the comics have a fraction of the audience that they used to. But I digress.
That kind of leaves us off with Loki. Hawkeye.
Let's go. Well, we didn't get the Hawkeye yet.
You were much more excited about this than I was, only because you've read the series and raved about the series.
Yes,
that this was based on.
Loosely based. Well, aesthetically, and then the Kate Bishop thematically, and the Tracksuit Mafia pulling up the rear, based on
TSM forever.
The setup. And a lot of the stories verbatim, not so much, very different, but influenced enough by the Fraction run that the credit sequences, the Pizza Dog, Kate Bishop, the Tracksuit Mafia, Hawkeye laying low in New York, that kind of stuff. Yep. All of that is based on the Fraction run. So I was all in on this. And they completely delivered for me. That Hawkeye might even be my favorite of the bunch.
I think it's my favorite. I think Hawkeye,
it was great.
Number 1, Falcon Winter Soldier number 2, Loki number 3, and then
WandaVision.
WandaVision number.
I think WandaVision's my number 2.
But that's
I like
very,
it weird.
That's a very tight field. There's no distance between.
Okay.
No,
I loved Hawkeye, and Hawkeye gave us
a thing. Hawkeye gave us back our reason for being.
Hawkeye gave us back.
Hawaiian shirt.
I mean, look, times are tough. Post blip, he's got to regain some power.
Yep.
But
we are, of course, talking about the return of Vincent D'Onofrio, Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin.
I was
coming back.
very happy to see him back. Like you wouldn't believe.
I was exceedingly happy to see him back. Although, and I'll kind of say this, and this kind of has a bit of what I like to call Mandalorianitis.
Mm-hmm.
So, Fisk comes back.
Yes.
Right? He comes back in the 5th of 6 episodes.
Yes.
The problem I have with how they did it, like, don't get me wrong, I will take all the Vincent D'Onofrio playing Wilson Fisk I can get. But the moment you bring him in
mm-hmm.
and he's a part of the show
mm-hmm.
and he's not like a stinger in the last episode, which I would have preferred, the show stops being about Hawkeye. All the conversation surrounding the show stops being about the main characters in the show. And I say Mandalorianitis because when Luke shows up, all the conversation is about Luke.
But that did happen in the last episode, in the final moments. And we still did get the thematic payoff of Din Djarin with the child. So I hear you. I hear you. But I still think that Mando, despite that overwhelming, oh my God moment of Luke Skywalker, the show is still The Mandalorian. And it does nail its final emotional beat on The Mandalorian.
True.
Similarly, Hawkeye, Fisk shows up and he gets, he's not a stinger. He's in there for the last little bit. But you still get the emotional closure of Kate Bishop and Hawkeye and their partnership, and Hawkeye going home to his family, giving Kate a new family, and getting closure and all that, and setting the stage for a new chapter in the MCU.
Right.
And it's fine. To me, personally, it's fine.
Yeah, my point is the problem is all the conversation following that moment is not about that. It's about Kingpin.
It is, but it isn't. Like, I don't know. I've avoided a lot of the internet on all this stuff because I was so far behind. I was not watching week to week. I was traveling. It was just too hard to keep up.
Yeah.
So I avoided the internet. And I'll tell you what, Carl, it's actually refreshing to avoid things. I can ingest it on my own pace and take in my own meaning from it. And to me, it's like, the Kingpin's back, and that's great. We're certainly excited about that. Hell yeah. But I can still enjoy Hawkeye for what it was and how it ended how it ended, and also look forward to more of the Kingpin and Echo for that matter. Let's go. Give me all this stuff.
Echo, and obviously another big return we'll talk about later.
Yes.
I
ain't mad.
I'm in. Thoroughly giddy with joy in the beginning of episode 6, where they gave us like proper comic book Kingpin. Purple pants, white coat.
Yeah. The scepter, the cane.
The cane with the diamond at the top. I was oh, God bless you. Because he was comic book Kingpin and D'Onofrio Kingpin at the same time.
And D'Onofrio has said that he says that it's the one we know. So I've had reservations that it was going to be, again, thanks to multiversal shenanigans, I was worried that we were getting a Kingpin, but not the Kingpin.
Right.
But D'Onofrio they've said no,
that character.
It's him.
So if all that is canon, which is looking like it is the case, then I'm okay with
it.
Obviously, we can't really expect Kingpin to be settling matters as he did in the Netflix show. I don't think we're going to see any brain matter spilling out onto a car.
Not on screen.
Not on screen, right. But yeah, really excited to get him back. So
we're still on TV?
Yeah.
I I haven't watched. I don't watch television. I watch wrestling and I watch the Marvel stuff on Disney Plus. And
Those are TV shows.
There, and I'm currently watching The Expanse season 6, which I have to tell you, Carl, you're not all invested, but I am. So I love I've probably gone on records of saying I love The Expanse. Like,
You've mentioned it once or twice.
Look at this bookshelf.
There's 6 books on it, man. Come on.
I love this book. There's 7, and they're all The Expanse. The 8th is upstairs. I love this series. I got to tell you though, my enthusiasm for season 6 basically got neutered when I read the 6th book, and not because I didn't like it, but because I read the 6th book, and I was like, "Well, I know the ending now, at least of this."
Right.
And now I saw the trailer for season 6, and like I'm looking at it and what they're teasing, and I'm like, and their episode count. They're only doing 6 episodes this season. Right. Granted, the last one will be a supersized one, like a 1.5 episodes kind of deal.
Yeah.
But dude, you ain't getting all this in 6 episodes, and they're teasing stuff from the 7th book, which, by the way, might be my favorite in the whole series. 7th book was sweet. They're never going to film it, but they're teasing stuff from it in the season 6 of the show. And it's like, don't do that because you're never going to touch it. This is it. The show is done.
So the old saying goes, you dance with the lady that brought you.
Uh-huh.
And the most comparable experience I have to what you're experiencing is my experience with The Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
So the films are coming out. I'd never read the books.
Okay.
And I obviously knew films were coming out. I wanted to see them. I made the decision to watch the films first.
Okay.
Before reading the books, knowing full well that the books are always going to be better.
Okay. Let me pause you. I don't necessarily say that the books or the show of The Expanse are better. They're both great.
Right.
But they do different things in different ways. They're telling the same story.
Right.
There's differences in some of the characters. There's differences in some of the nuance, but the big narrative and how they get there is pretty much exactly the same.
Right.
So I love them both. All I'm saying is what they are adapting for season 6 is like fine. They're doing it fine. See, to be fair, the 3rd episode, I think the 4th just came out yesterday. I haven't watched it yet, but I did watch the 3rd episode Tuesday night. Episodes 1 and 2, a little slow. We're kind of, okay, we're getting things started up again. 3rd episode, banger. Like, all right,
yeah,
cool. Great episode. We're back on track. However, the thing with the books is there is the narrative, and then there's the bigger narrative, like the bigger picture. And in the books, even in book 6, which they are adapting to season 6, that bigger narrative is kind of shunted to the side to tell a more character-driven one. In the show, you have presented the bigger narrative questions already in previous seasons. They're out there. You can't ignore them. And you have said, this is the end of this show. That basically tells the people watching, you better not count on any of this big stuff to get wrapped up in any satisfying way. Meanwhile, there are 3 more books after 6,
right,
where that stuff is now it's coming to the forefront, and man, it's like I'm all in. Like I am here for it.
My suggestion, which I know you're probably not going to follow, but
stop reading.
Can't
now.
Reading the books.
Too late now. I'm already.
No, it's not too late.
I'm past the point of the show, dude.
Then stop.
No,
stop going further because you're just setting yourself up for disappointment with the show. The show, which is the lady that brought you to the dance.
It's fine.
And the show, which is the thing that you loved first and most. Reading the books.
I still do, but I just don't. I'm not as hell yeah. Here's the thing. I am as hell yeah about The Expanse as I ever was. Maybe more, but the show is just part of The Expanse.
Okay. All right.
As a whole, I'm more all in than ever. Again, book 7 had me going. I loved it. It was so good. What a great read. 8 is starting to pick up now too, and the intrigue is like, oh man, we're going big. We're going big questions. We're going big big resolutions maybe in the offing. And in that context, like book 6/season 6 is like almost inconsequential. It's like, man, this was but a mere squabble compared to where I know this is going to head. So, hey, I hope the show ends in a satisfying way with teases of what's to come. Maybe some white knight angel investor comes in and says, we're going to put you on for another 3 seasons. Let's go. I doubt it. I mean, they've already been 6 seasons is a lot for any show, much less a science fiction one that needs money.
Amazon normally doesn't run long seasons either.
I mean, they gave them 3 more after Sci-Fi. So who's left? Who's left that's going to pick it up that I would trust to give them 3 more? Netflix? No.
HBO?
No. And I say
they
that
won't do because they're doing the Game of Thrones prequel series.
Great. Anyway, that's TV. That's TV.
Okay. Well, no, we got one more thing going TV.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Boba Fett.
It's good.
Yeah. First episode's out.
So since I don't know if I told you, maybe I forgot where we left off in August. Grant is all about Boba Fett.
Yes.
That's his boy.
Yes.
Watch the show with him. He was into it.
Yep.
Let me tell you. I like it. It's fine. It's good. Good show. Cromulent. Great. I guess I'm a little underwhelmed overall. I like where it has potential to go,
right?
But what the first episode honestly felt a little like paint by numbers for me. We've wondered for so long, how did he get out of the Sarlacc? And, he just gets out.
Yeah, I didn't even want to know. Like, I think going back to like kind of what was the primary driver of the character's surge in popularity in like the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Was the mystery of the character.
Sure.
That you didn't know.
Well,
so everybody started, writing what they thought this, what they thought that. Now we kind of know who and what the character is. And a lot of that mystery has been stripped away. So I thought
the Wolverine problem.
I thought it would be nice for him to maintain some mystery in that, like, how did he get out of the Sarlacc pit? And how, like, if they were, I'd rather they had not done it and just kind of go forward with the story.
Mm-hmm.
But if they were going to do it, I didn't want it to be anything like, I just wanted it to be something that made sense with the character, which it was.
It was okay. It just happened so fast. Like that's all it took to get out.
Like that's what you want the show to linger on for the whole time is
longer
like
than a scene.
You who hate to go backwards.
No, I do. But if you're going to, I mean, it's a big question as to how this dude got out.
It was cool to see the wreckage of the sail.
Yeah. I know.
I was like,
I know.
Oh, man,
no, I hear you. I do want to go forward, and that's the part of the story that it has the intrigue. Okay, where are we going? What's going to happen? But we could have spent some time with him. You know what I would like to have seen? Him in the belly of the Sarlacc for an episode in a seemingly hopeless situation, and he has to formulate a plan using found objects in the belly of a beast to get out. You know what I mean? Like a little MacGyverism. Something more than just like, oh, I'm going to use my flamethrower and he's going to spit me out or whatever. Which is kind of what happened.
Flamethrower. Well, it solves a lot of problems.
It does, but hasn't the Sarlacc eaten anything else with a flamethrower in the history?
Well, it takes a long time to digest.
I know.
1,000 years.
No, and the thing is, it's fine. And it's fine. I guess honestly, the biggest problem I have wasn't even that. I would have liked to have taken a little longer. I would have liked to have seen some planning in his head, some kind of planning montage, some kind of elaborate escape.
You had mentioned that you didn't like how the show looked.
Oh, wow. Now, this is probably maybe a problem because I know how the show is made. So because I know what to look for, or at least that my brain sees it, like I see the fourth wall removed kind of
volume.
And I see it. I see the camera placement, medium to close up shots with kind of flat lighting on the people, and the background is convincing.
Right.
But
that's also still a product of COVID.
Hey, look, I appreciate that. All I'm saying is I was watching it and there were just so many shots where it just looked like, oh man, this looks so flat and uninteresting, and there's just no depth to this shot. It just looks like people walking on a stage with a background. Like, I couldn't not look at it. Like I couldn't unsee it. And once I couldn't unsee it, it started to hurt my enjoyment of it. Yeah, it's not every shot, but there's a lot of them in there.
I noticed it primarily in the desert scenes.
Yeah.
But beyond that, like I noticed it, but then I just kind of moved on from it. I was like, okay, it's just what it is. I really enjoyed the first episode. We were talking upstairs before we started recording. I feel like we're getting so far the episode's giving us 2 stories.
Yeah.
It's giving us Star Wars Western story.
Which is classic.
Sure. Flashbacks. Classic. You know, I'm never going to kick that out of bed freaking crackers. Then we're also getting like Star Wars Godfather.
A little bit. Yeah.
Which I am all here for. Boba Fett in this first episode feels very Vito Corleone. And I think what I'd like to see them do throughout the course of the season is take him from Vito Corleone and then make him Michael Corleone.
Well, those are 2 very different characters.
Exactly. It's called growth.
Or not. I wouldn't call Michael grows, but he devolves into Vito, which he never wanted to be. So here, let me pitch this at you. I sort of feel like you're getting a redemption arc, kind of. He starts off as a jobber, like they start him off in the pit, dead by LOL. He gets out, gets enslaved and beat up and treated like crap. And it's not until he sees a family being robbed by a gang at the moisture farm, remember?
Right.
That he sort of gets a feel for the lay of the land that he's in. And I think that's like a turning point for the character where he might say, you know what? If this is how it is here, it ain't going to be like that under me.
Right.
I'm going to get out of this and I'm going to fix things. So you're getting kind of now he's not going to be a hero, mind you.
So you could say he wants to legitimize it almost.
No, he still wants to be a crime boss, but
I'm the crime boss, isn't he supposed to be?
Yeah. But he's not one. He's going to be the noble thief as opposed to the bloodthirsty.
Right. He's going to be the Robin Hood.
More that's the vibe I'm getting.
Robin Corleone.
Yeah, his brother. You know. We don't talk about Robin,
right?
Lesser than Fredo, even.
Yeah. No, I thought it was really cool,
but I like it. I like where it's going. Show me where it's going. I'm here for the Godfather. You know, in Star Wars. Let's go. Give me that story. I just felt it looked. I couldn't get over the look. I'll have to. I know. And I just felt like they could have done a little more. If you have a big moment like Fett getting out of the pit, build it up a little bit. Make people kind of go like, "Oh man!" Again, show me his brain working to build some kind of elaborate bomb to get out or something like that. You know, not to mention, the poor bastards guys run around in the desert in his long undies. Poor Boba Fett.
Tamora Morrison.
It's great.
Fantastic performance. Great. But, dude, Ming-Na Wen.
58 years old, still out there kicking butt.
She can do no wrong.
She's great.
We got Star Wars ninjas.
We do.
How great was that?
Star Wars parkour.
That was one thing I kind of bumped up against in that fight when it started.
Go on.
And the fight was going. I was like, Boba, take your flamethrower, point it at their feet.
Yeah, there's that. Sure. There was a point in that sequence too when I felt like I was. You're gonna laugh, but maybe you'll understand. It was cool. I mean, cool. But I also felt like, oh, I'm watching the Star Wars Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular at Walt Disney World. It looked like, for whatever reason, it just, again, getting back to the shot choice and however they did it,
right.
It just looked like, this looks like a stunt show. And
Are you
not
talking
like
about primarily the chase or
the chasing and the jumping? And yeah.
I mean,
and they're kind of generic garb, the ninja guys.
Well, ninjas, man.
I know, but it just looks so like this is just some kind of stage show at Disney World.
Outside of like early 90s G.I. Joe, Ninja are not known for their flashy fashions.
Hey, look.
Not a lot of neon colors being used outside of Ninja Force.
There's just some aesthetic things about this episode that I couldn't quite get over.
I'm really, really interested to see where it goes. I'm excited for it.
I'm all for it. I'm all in. It's Boba Fett. Let's go.
Yep.
Again, just I wish it just looked a little better, but it is what it is.
So, all right, I'll do it for TV shows. Next subject's probably going to be the quickest one.
Let's go.
Comics?
I have nothing to say. I've never been less interested.
I mean,
I hate to say that, but
crossover
you've been singing
amazing.
that, yeah.
Other than that, like, I'm more and more detached from Batman because it's just not, like, obviously there's a certain level of disbelief you suspend when reading comics, but it really feels like the book is becoming a parody of itself. And Spider-Man is doing another Ben Reilly takes over as Spider-Man story. I'm like, we've done this. We've been here.
Carl, you're in nostalgia cycles at this point with comics. There is nothing left they can sell. Creators don't want to give them free characters and free ideas anymore. So Marvel, I mean, I can't speak to DC, but even DC. I'll even say DC. They are both now in the phase where all they do is remix stuff they've already done.
Yeah.
Both of them.
I've seen that a lot more this year. Now, granted, Daredevil is still entertaining to me because this is the first time I've really kind of like read the character on a regular basis this past couple of years. So Daredevil's still good to me. But yeah, like crossover still amazing.
A lot of my favorite indie titles basically have stopped coming out. So
Saga came back this week.
Saga's coming back, yeah.
Yeah, no, this week I think. This Wednesday, I believe the first new issue came out.
This coming Wednesday?
No, this past Wednesday. I think. I'm not 100% sure.
I would have seen that. Hold on. Hold on. Let me check my list. If I missed it, I'm gonna be very upset.
Check it twice.
Yeah.
Gonna find out if it was naughty or nice.
Right. Saga Claus is coming to town.
So yeah, comics, not really a lot to talk about.
No, but you know, I want them to be better than they are, Carl. You know that.
Yeah, me too.
No Saga this week, sir.
All right, next week.
Maybe this coming week.
Okay. Yeah.
Here's the problem. We both said Marvel needs, and unfortunately, they need a full reboot, but they'll never do it. But they need it. DC, I don't even know anymore. I don't know how to fix them.
DC just kind of needs to right the ship.
Yeah, and I don't even know what that means for them anymore, and I doubt their readers do either, because I don't know. DC's identity crisis goes back. It goes back decades, and I don't know that there's any way to rectify it at this point. But there's no way that kids just don't care anymore. And if you've diminished your readership base, and I don't see any way of reclaiming it without massive fresh jumping on points for a young audience that you need to give them a reason to care about a comic book. So they're never going to cancel it all outright, because I think Disney and Warner Brothers love having free content farms.
It's still profitable. Like it's
sort of,
it's not losing money. Okay. So yeah, comics, games. Talk some videos / board games.
Okay.
We touched on it earlier with Metroid
Dread rules. That is all.
I've played a Metroid game.
You have?
I got to. Still at the final fight that just haven't picked it up yet.
You can do it. I have faith in you.
I tried the final fight once and just I can't remember why, but I had to put the game down for a while and just haven't gone back to it yet.
It's going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
You'll get it.
Yeah. Amazing experience. Just fantastic.
So that's my favorite. Metroidvanias are my favorite genre. I am here for all of your Metroidvanias.
Was there anything else you played this year, video game wise, that stuck out?
I bought the Castlevania Game Boy Advance collection.
Okay.
And let me tell you, some people will swear by, hidden gems and, say that one is this unheralded game is the real pinnacle of this franchise or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, my memories of those Game Boy Advance games were that they were okay, but not great, and I stand by that. So the collection has basically reinforced that. The first two games in the collection, Circle of the Moon and Aria of Dissonance. No, I'm sorry, Harmony of Dissonance. Is that right? Yes, Harmony of Dissonance. Not good. Not good. Circle of the Moon, poor castle design, sluggish movement, kind of a neat gameplay gimmick. Like its secondary weapon system is interesting and neat,
right.
But overall just a slog of a game.
Right.
Harmony of Dissonance looks a little better. They brightened it up a bit. And again, a fun secondary weapon system, but again, a poor castle layout, and the controls again are sluggish and like, why does this feel so tank-like?
Yeah.
And the music is terrible, by the way, on Harmony of Dissonance. Like, I guess from what I heard, they went so all in on the graphics that there was no room left on the memory on the cartridge for music, so they had to go down to 8-bit music for it, and it sounds awful. Third game, however, Aria of Sorrow, big return to form, best of the three by far. Enjoyable. Now, mind you, I'm so harsh on these games because all three of them came out after Symphony of the Night,
yeah,
which is one of my favorite games of all time. So if you're following up Symphony of the Night, I don't care what platform it's on, and your game plays like terribly and sluggish, or your main character, your protagonist, basically is very tank-like, there's no excuse for that. I'm not going back to this.
The PlayStation game, right?
Yeah, PS1, all time classic game, still tremendous, amazing game, great castle layout, great music, phenomenal music actually, plays beautifully, just chef's kiss. But I digress. Anything else I played this year? Nothing is coming to mind. I did not do a ton of gaming this year. I did get the Ori collection for Christmas.
I saw that.
I'm enjoying that. Metroidvania.
Yep.
Beautiful aesthetic, beautiful music. Cool so far. The story could reveal itself in a little better than it has, but I'm very early on in the first game, so don't hold me to that. But I'm enjoying it. I also got Guardians of the Galaxy for PS4.
You did get it.
I did. It's good.
Yeah.
So I'm through the first mission, which is like your tutorial mission, effectively.
Spider-Man good? Or too early to tell?
Too early to tell, but I'll say this. The team banter is
on point.
On point. Like it's
right.
It's great. It's not the MCU voices, but it's close.
Right.
Close your eyes and maybe you kind of hear it.
Can we get Dave Bautista? No. Can we get Dave Bautista?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Get him.
And the guy who is doing Rocket is very close to Bradley Cooper, slightly more Canadian.
Can we get Bradley Cooper? No. Can we get Sly Cooper? Yes.
Maybe. Yes. Can we get Buddy Cooper, his Canadian his Canadian equivalent? Guy Cooper, Wayne Cooper, Gord Cooper, Gordy Cooper. Yes, we can get
Cooper.
I guess that's one thing. It's made by Eidos Montreal.
Yeah,
and or one of those studios. Yeah, I think it's Eidos Montreal made it. And or Squeenix published it, whatever. But Canadian, and you can tell. I don't know if the rest of America can tell, but I'm from Buffalo and I can spot a Canadian accent like nobody's business. And let me tell you, those voice actors are all Canadian.
Oh yeah,
every one of them.
So,
but it's good. I am early on, but so far, it's gotten great reviews, which is why I was like, you know what, I think I want it. I might recommend it.
I might have to borrow it from you when you're done with
I'm happy to let you borrow it.
I think for me, Mario Golf.
Okay.
Big hit of the year. Trying to think what else. Like, obviously, Metroid Dread.
Mm-hmm.
What else did I play? Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Got my hands on PlayStation 5 this year.
Lucky you.
100% to my wife. She just took the quest of getting a PlayStation 5 personally and just did not stop.
The Michael Jordan meme, Julie. I took that personally.
Pretty much. The whole thing is like, bots buying up PlayStation 5s quicker than people can get them. And then the meme of Julie going, and I took that personally. Because she just would not stop until she got one. And so far, early impressions of the system, it's really good. It's big. It's easily the biggest video game console I've ever had in my life, size-wise. It is to... The PS5 is to the original PS3, size-wise, what the original PS3 is to the PS4. So extrapolate that in your mind.
I'm trying to.
It's big.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I know it's big.
Yeah. But as far as like interface, like a lot of your issues with the interface in the PlayStation 4 were addressed. Easy, smooth, takes a little bit of getting used to, but so far my experience with it's been pretty good. Got my friend Jim gave me his copy of Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I played through that. Great game, a lot of fun.
As enjoyable as Spider-Man?
Yes,
okay.
Very much so. I would say, because of the length of the game, I would say if you can find it on sale somewhere, it's a very good pickup. But because of how short the game is, I would not pay like full $60 price for it.
Gotcha.
You're just not getting enough game to justify that purchase.
Okay.
But the game you are getting is, pun intended, amazing.
Okay.
So yeah, that was it.
Okay.
The games, video-wise, I'm looking forward to in 2022. Two big ones come to mind, which is Triangle Project, which is the strategy game Square is doing for the Switch. Very, Octopath Traveler visuals and whatnot. 3D, 2D, like 3D, 16-bit-ish graphics.
Yep.
And Splatoon 3.
Okay.
Life popped hard at the Splatoon 3 trailer when it was announced at the Direct.
2022 video game wise, I don't have a lot on my radar. Nintendo hasn't, shown their cards yet, and Metroid Dread, I'm still in the afterglow, so Nintendo doesn't have to do much for me for a little while. To be honest, the only game on my radar for 2022, and it's probably going to be late 2022, and I would venture to guess it's going to be delayed, is Starfield. Now that, mind you, is a Bethesda game, so that's only going to be available on Xbox. So whenever that does come out, I have decisions to make.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
So
basically Skyrim in space.
Alrighty.
You said anything in space, and I'm going to be listening, much less a massive RPG open world, in space. Okay. You have my attention.
Alrighty. Board games. Kind of a light year for us, mainly because of the pandemic. We didn't really get back into swing until the summertime.
Right.
And we kind of got a regular board game night going in the summertime, but then, Alan unfortunately had some life issues to deal with that, are still in progress, but seem to be getting better. So of course we wish Alan all the best with that. And
we took the champions pretty well.
We kind of just went headlong into a campaign for Marvel Champions.
It's going well,
which isn't Alan's cup of tea, which is perfectly fine. But Steve has kind of come in to be the fourth champion, and we did the Rise of the Red Skull campaign and
nailed it.
Everybody kind of was learning the game at that point, getting an idea of stuff. when we started the Shadow of the Mad Titan campaign, you know, you have a character you're having a lot of fun with.
Yes.
Quicksilver
Quicksilver's dope.
You are all about Quicksilver.
He can dish.
But we ran into a little problem with Thanos.
A little bit.
You kind of brushed us last time. So
yeah, Thanos is not one to be trifled with, as we found out the hard way.
Got to regroup and come at it again.
Yes.
Ancient World.
Enjoy Ancient World.
You guys too.
Yep.
Alan introduced us to It's a Wonderful World, which I later picked up because Alan pointed out that was on sale. So I'm very excited about that. So yeah, good year board gaming wise.
Yeah, more to come.
Definitely more to come. Let's wrap it up with movies.
Okay. This is where I tell you that I didn't see a lot of movies in the last year either.
Well, yeah.
Having a toddler will kind of hinder that a bit.
They'll kill that. You want to start with Shang-Chi?
Sure.
Because you didn't see Eternals yet.
No.
Well, let me do a quick thing on Eternals without giving any spoilers.
Okay.
Good, not great.
Okay.
Could probably shave a good 20 minutes off that movie.
Okay.
Angelina Jolie, while amazing it, also feels overcast.
Okay.
And also it is a perfect example of Marvel kind of trolling Warner Brothers and showing them how to do a Justice League movie. Takes some really big swings and doesn't necessarily hit a home run, but the ball's definitely in play.
Triple?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, triple. Mid credits and post credits, both very interesting.
Okay.
Big, like mid credit scene, deep, arguably the deepest cut ever in a Marvel cinematic universe.
Due to the nature of the internet, I may have been spoiled on some of this, so don't quote me on any of it. I'm not going to get into it with you now. So I know some of it. I don't know the context. I just know characters that may or may not have been introduced, and I just think to myself, okay, where are we going with this? And how many people are going to care? Then again, I thought about that for the entirety of the Eternals being a thing.
Yeah.
What is this and how many people are going to care?
Right.
So
it is safe to say Eternals has definitely not captured that Guardians magic.
Right. I had a feeling it was not going to.
Would you say you were hooked on a feeling that it was not going to?
Hooked on a feeling, girl? No.
So yeah, it starts streaming on Disney Plus, I believe, on January 12th.
Okay, well, so we'll plot out an evening to watch it.
2 hours and 45 minutes.
Oh God, that's long.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
So I guess Shang-Chi.
Which is currently my son's favorite movie.
We just watched it this week.
I have seen it so many times.
Now, I will say that I had fun in the first half hour to 40 minutes of it, and I'll tell you why. We had just gotten back from San Francisco, and seeing San Francisco, we're like, oh my God, look at San Francisco. It was fun.
Right.
I mean, on a personal level, I was like, oh man, look at that, San Francisco. We were just there. Look at, and I felt like, the characters were doing a lot to try and make me like them. And they, and I do like them, right? And it's a fine movie. But it gets a little...
Until it stops telling the story that it wanted to tell.
I guess.
And has dragons fight.
Well, that's the ultimate, like, okay, we're off the rails here.
Yeah.
But even when we get to, like, when they go to Macau, and there's like, oh, we're in this big fight club, bro. It's like, whoa.
Hey, I was all in for that.
I guess, but like how we got there, and then suddenly there's this big reveal, and now I don't know. That was all kind of very like...
They kind of stepped on the gas a bit.
Maybe a little too much too fast for me. I don't know. I don't know. It was. I enjoyed it. But yeah, for sure. Once it turns into like we had this cool little familial drama happening. It's like, okay, I'm invested here. What's going on? I actually liked and I was not expecting and rather enjoyed the kind of like love story dynamic between the Mandarin and his wife, and how they kind of bore the children, and the family was kind of shattered when she died, and that kind of thing. All that I liked a lot. There was a lot of good intrigue in there. It made me, and it made me invested. And then we're
riding dragons.
We're riding dragons. The climax of our film is literally two dragons fighting, while humans are just kind of sitting on their backs.
Like,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Choices were made here.
It was telling this really great family story,
right?
You know, and that was the strength of it, and it was doing that really well.
Yeah,
and then in the end, it just the dragons, because we've got to have a big CG fight
and
at the end.
And you see, I've heard that criticism leveled at Marvel movies for years now. And I've never really cared, but this was the first movie where I was like, yeah, they just couldn't help it, could they?
Because the other ones kind of fit better in the story that they're telling.
Right. This was like, oh, there's dragons
was just
now.
like, now there's dragons. I'm just like, I just kind of want to see him fight his dad and kind of like take over the 10 rings, but then reject like the actual rings, not the organization.
Gotta tell you, don't know if I love the bracelet deal, but it's fine. We're gonna let it slide.
When you think of like 10 rings on fingers, on 10 fingers, that doesn't. I think that's one of those things that works in a comic but doesn't work on an actual screen.
Fair enough.
Like I really would have liked to have seen him, like he did, take over the 10 rings at a point in the fight, use them, but then ultimately reject them,
right,
and just beat his father straight up.
Yeah. So again, in summation,
but one of the best mid-credit scenes ever in a Marvel film. I will take Wong at karaoke any day of the week. These are the two shows I want on Disney Plus. I want these two shows. I want Shang-Chi, Katie and Wong touring karaoke bars.
Uh-huh.
And the other show is I want Yelena and Kate Bishop road trip.
Stop making me like you.
Just give me those two shows.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm here for you. Question.
Yes.
Were Wong and the Abomination in cahoots?
They seem to. I wouldn't necessarily throw the cahoots label on it.
They have a rapport.
They did have a rapport.
They walked off together. Wong kind of apologized for punching him in the face.
Well, technically, he didn't punch him in the face.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so, the Abomination. Face turn? What's...
To be determined. I would not be surprised if he shows up in She-Hulk.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of buzz about that possibility.
Oh. Speaking of, Shang-Chi post-credits. They do the analysis. Spoilers, by the way, everybody. They do the analysis on the rings, and they say that they're made of something like the oldest thing in the universe, and they were sending a message. Did they hint at what that message was, or what are they hinting at with this?
I think...
Are they celestial in origin, perhaps?
Possibly.
Okay, because I didn't see Eternals, but it seems like maybe that was something I missed. Okay, fair enough. Also, Banner, not Hulk anymore. Arm still in a sling from Snappy. But now he's not Hulk anymore. He's Banner again. I found that interesting.
It was never established that he couldn't turn back into Banner in Endgame.
Okay.
We just didn't see it.
That's fair.
And for the snippet we got of She-Hulk, he was Hulk again. So
I need to see the rules of the Hulk. I don't know what's going on right now. But
rules which are always in flux.
Yes, always. But that certainly was interesting to me. Non-Marvel division, I saw Knives Out finally. Not a 2021 movie, but I finally saw it. It was great.
Great movie.
Great movie. Fantastic. Loved it. So I guess we got to talk.
Let's let's get to what everybody wants to talk about.
I say I don't have that much to say, but I probably will.
Yeah. Let's talk about Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay.
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
So that happened.
You joke, but in the end, that's kind of how I feel about it.
All right. So this has kind of been a running thing with us. Like, if you listen to the show, Spider-Man's my all-time favorite character. And
in fairness,
I have not disliked
yeah,
how he's been incorporated in the MCU as a whole. There are aspects of the portrayal that I've not agreed with and that I've been 100% on board with.
And I've been easier on this than you have. I've rather enjoyed, for the most part, I've enjoyed these flicks.
Right.
This one, though, gave me a lot of pause in a lot of ways.
This one, say what you will about the...
Had fun with it.
Yeah.
But...
well, let's put this up on Front Street. We both liked the film.
Yes.
We both thought it was good.
Yes.
We were both entertained.
Yes.
We have Daredevil back.
He's a very good lawyer.
He's a very good lawyer.
Carl, I whooped in the theater. Woo!
I had a big gasp because I knew it was a possibility, but they just kind of put it there. All of a sudden, there's no build up. He's just there.
He's just there, and then he catches the brick. I'm like,
yes.
Oh.
You got some toxic waste in the eyes. So, for all my qualms with Homecoming and Far From Home, both of them gave me new things in a Spider-Man film that I've never seen before. One of which I wanted very, very much, which was Mysterio. And they did them really well.
The other one gave you Keaton as Vulture.
Right.
Mind you. Okay.
Right. This movie, to me, felt like a greatest hits album with a B-side or two thrown in there.
That's a fair way to put it.
It didn't really do anything new as much as just recycled old and took beats from quite possibly one of the worst Spider-Man stories in recent history, possibly of all time. I think, yeah, I would say...
Well, Sins Past has got to be up there.
I would say One More Day is...
Worse than Sins Past? Worse than Sins Past?
Yeah.
No. 1 and 2.
And also worse than the Clone Saga.
That'll give you. However, I take your point totally, and I agree with a lot of it. But let me back up though. My problem with it isn't even the greatest hits aspect of it.
Since past. Why can't they retcon one more time?
Because Joe Quesada refuses.
Who is he to say anymore?
He's still pet. Yeah. I don't know. That said, I'm not complaining about the greatest hits. It's fun stuff. The biggest problem I have is that you had 3 Spider-Man movies that, for 2.5 of them, I thought we had already... I thought Spider-Man was more fully formed, I guess. And no, turns out he wasn't. And not only wasn't he, but the big character and moment of realization of the fully formedness doesn't even exist in this MCU.
Right.
And we've spent 3 movies just to get Spider-Man to a place where he should have been from day one.
The place where I said he should.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
What?
It's so
you took 3 movies to get here?
We got to talk about the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is that apparently for this Spider-Man, there is no Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
That's a huge problem. Now, granted, there's going to be people out there saying...
Well, those people are wrong. If you're going to have Spider-Man without Uncle Ben, that's like saying having Batman without the murder of Thomas and Martha Wayne. Like, you don't get to that character without Uncle Ben. Like, when the character was first brought in Civil War, the big question was like, we're going to have to do an origin again. Are we going to have to hear again with great power comes great responsibility? And they in Civil War, they said it without saying it.
Right.
You know, when you can do what I do and you don't, the bad things happen, it's your fault.
Exactly.
They said it.
Like I said.
Without saying
Like I said, we were led to believe a thing.
Yeah. So we assumed, I can't necessarily go as far as say we were led to believe, because they never really made kind of mention of it.
No, but like what you just said,
We
you
assumed,
can fill in some blanks.
right. We assumed that they would touch on it at some point,
Yeah.
go over it, but like they were smart enough to know we didn't need the full blown origin again,
Right.
because we don't. Like Spider-Man, Batman, Superman,
We know.
we never need those origins again.
Right.
So without Uncle Ben, and for pretty much most versions of this character, most interpretations prior to Uncle Ben's death, he's cocky, arrogant, and trying to use his powers to cash in. And it's Uncle Ben's death. It's him not stopping the crook who ends up killing Uncle Ben that creates the hero.
Right.
And it's part of his upbringing from May and Ben. If you take that away, and I understand that they kind of shifted it to May's role,
Yes.
but if you take that away from that character at that point in their lives, and you say, well, he's just a good person and decided to go out and do good things, that is not interesting and is a huge disservice to the character.
I agree. And not only and not just the character, but I also think about the supporting cast and how much we're supposed to care about them.
Right.
And I like I like, the little gang of friends that he's got, right?
Yeah.
Except I don't know that they've had a lot of character development per se.
I mean, I think
and the third movie just makes us like we're supposed to feel a certain way about them, and then I don't know.
I think they've done with them what they can do with the supporting cast, like in an MCU film.
I feel like it wants me to care way more than the movies have shown me I should.
Kind of.
I don't know. That's just
Right.
my read on it. Like, I get that I get what they're doing,
Right.
and I get why I should care, but I find myself not caring as much as the movie wants me to care. That's
Right.
kind of a problem.
So, yeah, that is a big problem. So you shift the event to being May,
Yeah.
who is killed in the film, who says the line, with great power
Great responsibility.
there
Yeah.
must come great
Yeah.
responsibility. And it just like, I don't know if it's because of the presence of Maguire and Garfield Spider-Mans, but like that is lessened. It's like we need to get this. It was used as a tool to be like, we kind of need to get this character to a point where he wants to kill, so we can have one of these other Spider-Men
Stop
him from killing.
Right.
And it was just like,
They wrote it backwards. They
Right.
want yeah.
right.
Yeah.
What have I always said where I want this character to end up? It's like, he should not be learning these lessons from Tony Stark or Doctor Strange. He should be learning these lessons on his own. Through hardship and loss is how Peter Parker learns his lessons.
Well, he got that in this movie.
And at the end of the movie, when they one more date it, he is at where I've always wanted him to be, but at the same time, it feels shallow, because part of him being there is also that supporting cast that's so key in the comics.
Right.
Having May there, Mary Jane, his friends. So I think of everything they did in this film, the thing they did the most disservice to was the main Spider-Man of the film.
I agree. And it's even more shocking to me that they did that, given that this was Marvel proper's MCU Spider-Man. This is the version they've wanted to do. This is the one they want. This is the one that they're saying is theirs. Oy, I don't know, man. Like, it's, again, I enjoyed the movie and everything, but I'm puzzled by that decision. Like, that just seems so odd to me.
So let's talk about why we actually did enjoy the movie and what we enjoyed about the movie. And I think it's really like the biggest spoiler that wasn't a spoiler that everyone knew was going to happen, which was the appearance of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Great. Loved it.
I think the biggest surprise of this was everybody, prior to this film, everybody was like, oh man, they're going to get Tobey Maguire back and Andrew Garfield. But after the film, it was like, okay, Andrew Garfield is the MVP of this film.
He kind of is.
Like,
and here's the thing. I think even when those movies were out, right? I think we both felt the same way about them, in that movies aren't that great, but Andrew Garfield's a great Spider-Man.
Right.
Not a great Peter Parker, mind you.
He nailed the Spider-Man aspect.
But he was great. And he was just a great Spider-Man in a bad Spider-Man movie. Let's put it that way. Or in a middling to lesser Spider-Man movies.
The first one I would say is good.
Okay.
I would make an argument that the first one is good. First one also had the best ever Stan Lee cameo in the
librarian.
The librarian.
Yeah.
Amazing. The second one,
I have so many.
They just tried to do too much.
Yes.
For so much that they got right in the second one.
Costume.
The costume, his performance as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The relationship dynamic, what they did with Gwen Stacy. But they just tried to shove too much into the film.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that the legacy of the Amazing Spider-Man movies became retroactively that they're bad. Like, bad. Because Andrew Garfield, because they got Tom Holland, because we got so much fun in Marvel's ascendance into dominance. So they were looked down upon. But now we bring him back. We brought back Andrew Garfield, and it's like, no, he's good.
Yeah, no, he people are saying, oh, he was redeemed. I'm like, he didn't really need to be redeemed.
No, but in the eyes of I'm saying, in the eyes of a lot of people, he did.
He really took the moment to shine, and like I wanted to see, like, coming out of this, obviously the internet's getting internet, and a lot of people are like, Amazing Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 3. I'm like, you know what? I don't need it.
I don't need it. And I think you would just confuse people.
But if you tell me you're going to do it, I'm not going to shut down right away.
No, it's fine. I mean, hey, maybe I don't.
Yeah.
You're just going to confuse the marketplace. I wouldn't do that, but I hear you.
When the three Spider-Man got together, there was
great.
There was a lot of like everything that went on outside of the main plot was great. Like the conversations, the connections.
They did the meme.
They did the meme. Obviously the whole conversation about Toby's webs.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Seeing all three of them land on top of the Statue of Liberty, just awesome.
Alfred Molina, tremendous.
Yeah, Alfred Molina. Willem Dafoe putting in a better performance in this film than he did in his original film. Just fantastic. They updated the suit.
I did like that. How he kind of got more purpley and hoodie and good stuff.
So the Molina and Dafoe were there. The rest of them were just kind of window dressing.
Jamie Foxx
got
redemption.
Got a nice glow up.
He got a glow up. He
got a good hairline.
But I think his character had a full redemption. He was way better in this time around. Way better.
Right. It was interesting. Doctor Strange. I mean, I'm never gonna say no to more time with Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange.
I love it. I still am puzzled though by his why was he so prickly and brash and weird?
Well,
I don't know.
The core of the character is downfall due to arrogance.
True.
When you save half the universe, you might be feeling yourself for a little while after that.
Okay. I feel okay.
So
I just felt he was a little prickly for a guy who, bore some blame in all of this, despite his insistence on blaming Peter for it. Like, bro, you did this. You could have told the kid no. But
once again, problems in films that can be solved by simple communication.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start the spell and he starts talking, stop the spell.
Yeah.
Talk it out.
Yeah.
And then start the spell again.
Right. Let's set the ground rules here, and then we'll come back. No,
I really liked the scene where they were in the mirror dimension, and Peter figures out this is all just geometry.
Yeah. That was kind of cool.
So that was really cool.
Okay. Sony. Buddy. I don't know what your end game is here. No pun intended, mind you.
Yeah.
Here's what I mean. Those Venom movies, I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about them.
Don't care.
However.
Morbius looks fun.
Venom, I beg to differ. But you set up in your second Venom movie. God help us, third Venom movie. That Venom was going to gun for Spider-Man. Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay. You basically telegraphed to your audience, we're going to do the thing. And then let me give you my narrative, my stream of consciousness thoughts as it happened in the post-credit scene. Oh no. They're going to do the thing. But then he goes away and I went, "Oh, they're doing the thing, thank God."
I audibly groaned in the theater.
So did I. I was like, "Ugh."
And I made sure people heard my audible groan.
Same. Thank you. We're simpatico. Yep. But then he went away. And I went, "Oh, all right. Forget about that." But here's me, the viewer, the observer. Hey, they're not doing it. As a fan, happy as hell.
Yep.
Don't want to see Spider-Man interacting with that Venom stuff that Sony's doing. But I'm just thinking in terms of Sony. You told people basically that it was going to happen. And now you went like, psych, nope. My brain just goes like, either Marvel had no say over Venom 2 and Sony did it.
Yeah.
And then when it came to Spider-Man No Way Home, Kevin Feige was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. And we're going to make sure that we're not doing that.
Well, also it doesn't work.
What happened there? What is going on?
It's a major plot hole in the entire film because the whole point of the spell was that anyone in any other universe who knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man was going to come through.
Yeah.
Eddie Brock doesn't know who Peter Parker is in the Venom films.
Did Electro know? That came up. Because again, I blocked out most of Amazing Spider-Man 2. Someone brought up that he didn't know either.
It's possible he didn't. I don't know.
It's been
a long while.
I'm not going back and watching that movie, so I don't care. However, the only way it makes sense is if Venom, who says he can traverse universes and blah, 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 knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man and told Eddie Brock, the symbiote that I mean, and tells Eddie Brock, and that's the technicality. Fine. But again, I think we're putting more thought into this than they did.
Yeah.
And I'm still puzzled by how they could tease something and then just go like, oh no, never mind.
I think
like what?
I think it's funny that you and I both kind of landed in the same place thought-wise as to what to do with Spider-Man going forward. And that's something I never thought I would hear myself say, and that's, I think we kind of need to put Spidey on the shelf for a while. They won't.
They won't. They absolutely will
not. They have to keep producing to retain the rights.
Right.
But
I don't know.
This character could use a break.
I'm gesturing with my hands. I'm not opposed to more Spider-Man, but you better take some time and figure out what it is you want to do here or what you're trying to say with him. Because I got to tell you, like I said, we just watched, it took us 3 movies to get to like the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not right. Something's off here.
So this movie, I think I said this to you earlier, this movie hit all the beats that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse hit, but
lesser.
Into the Spider-Verse hit them much better, much more emotionally. It's still, like, to me, the best Spider-Man movie ever.
Again, like the film.
Yeah.
Had fun.
Liked the film, had fun. They did the thing, and I think they did the thing. We had some fun with it. Did they need to do the thing? I don't think so. I think they did the thing because they could do the thing and they wanted to flex a bit. So yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens going forward.
Multiverse of Madness looks crazy.
Show me the new Spidey suit, please, in high res. I need to see what it looks like.
Yeah. It
looks cool. Looks comics accurate, yada yada. But again, why did it take us 3 movies to get to what Spider-Man should have been doing from day one? I don't know. It's fine. It's different.
You're the one who was always saying throughout the first 2 movies, "Oh, he'll get there. He'll get there." Well, he got there.
Yeah, but they got there in like the most weird way possible. Like, I digress. I don't want to dwell. Let's not dwell. Let's move on.
I think that pretty much wraps it up.
All right. Happy holidays.
Indeed. Holiday special.
New Year's special. Year-end special. Call it what you will.
Well, I think we're falling in between Christmas and New Year's. As the recording of this one's going to post, which is probably next week.
I could maybe make it happen.
Give the people a New Year's Day present.
Let me see what I can do.
We appreciate you joining us as always.
Yes.
This is going to sound bad, but it's not intended to be bad. Our willingness to do this on a regular basis is spurred on in a lot of ways by your eagerness to hear us. So if we're hearing from you in the emails and on the socials, we're probably going to be moved to do this more than we've done.
Biannually.
Because we enjoy doing this, talking to each other about this stuff, but we also kind of do it on a weekly basis during our game night. So, but if you're all out there listening, let us know.
Yes.
Send us some stuff.
Yes, please. We miss y'all.
And if you're looking for a place to send us some stuff, I got some suggestions for you. You can follow us on Twitter at Devils Do Pod. You can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/devilsdopod. You can email us at thedevilsdopod@gmail.com, or you can find all these resources available to you on our website, thedevilsdopodcast.com. Drew, that being said, any closing thoughts?
I reiterate everything you said. Engage with us, and it helps us stay motivated to want to do more of this. I cannot promise that we will, but it does certainly help. So, no, man. Happy New Year. Hope you're all well. I hope 2022 is great for everyone. And we'll chat again soon, hopefully.
Alrighty. Bye.
Bye.